For someone with such a refined taste as myself, it's hard finding things that meet your standards these days, let alone exceeds them. I'm constantly on the search for games, movies, and shows to expand my palette with. Those certain special products that stand out to me do so because they change the way I view the world. They give me a new lens, hence leaving an impact on my very identity. I, as a person, change with each new wondrous media I discover. But occasionally, in fact, rather rarely, there will be something I come across that is so vast, so strange, and so unbelievable. To take it in is like swallowing a large-ass pill. Yet, because of this, you are entranced. You must dive deeper, deeper, and even then, this thing is so unique and phenomenal that you struggle to wrap your mind around it. This was, and is, my experience with Twin Peaks. Never has the expression exceeded my expectations been more true, because that's exactly what happened. What I believe the show represented was continuously challenged over and over and over as I watched the entire series. The original vision I had was this comfy, vintage mystery surrounding the investigation of a murdered local girl. Indeed, this is absolutely a valid way to define the show, but it is not the definition, not even close. Because Twin Peaks has a rough history in its production, each segment of the series has a significantly distinct tone. Each part shines and falters in its own regard, but still holds such a value to the overall story Twin Peaks is telling. And my goodness, it is such a beautiful story. On paper, it's rather simple, but this isn't on paper. It's through the eyes of David Lynch, but let us discuss him further down the line. Way back when, on April 8th, 1990, pilot for Twin Peaks was broadcasted. Amongst the various other hit shows being shown on air at the time, it stood out for being special. That audience at the time had never seen anything like it before. A mystery show was supposed to build suspense, follow clues, reveal the killer, and solve the case. What took the viewers by surprise and nuts over was how investing the world was. It was like watching a sitcom with different sub-stories building a familiar community each episode. What were suspects became comfort characters, and what was an eerie town became a new home. It just was like viewing an evil soap opera. The town of Twin Peaks quickly grew on me. It's all about mood. The atmosphere offers this warm, yet cool breeze that makes you want to snuggle into a blanket. There's a perfect consistency of mysticism, realism, horror, and wholesomeness. The humor is delivered in such a surreal, offbeat manner that it's genuinely so entertaining. The dialogue is blunt yet charming, and the way lines are spoken ensures the audience is hooked on every word. And it's so damn quotable, like holy shit. I swear to God, every time I take my initial sip of coffee, I unconsciously say out loud, that is a damn fine cup of coffee. Each and every one met in Twin Peaks is special. They are all peculiar in their own way and all to some extent tie into one another's lives, sort of creating this huge family tree. From lovable Andy to odd Audrey Horne to the puzzling log lady to pitiful Sarah Palmer. Everyone, except for James. I don't like James. Fuck you, James. Yet, I dedicate a paragraph of my script to undoubtedly the most iconic character, FBI agent Dale Cooper. Fan-beloved hero, worthy of his reputation. Kyle MacLachlan, already such a cutie on his own, brings us a protagonist who makes this unfamiliar and sinister town something more comfortable. Not just to the audience, but the community of Twin Peaks. He's kind, he's silly, he's strong and brave and good at heart. He is a role model. This charming presence that's steadily followed by his pursuit to deface injustice makes him incredibly likable.
I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Every day, once a day, give yourself a present. Don't plan it, don't wait for it, just let it happen. It could be a new shirt at the men's store, a cat nap in your office chair, or 2 cups of good, hot, black coffee.
Dale Cooper is also gifted with a unique insight, one that gives the audience a perspective into the show's supernatural world. And here is where my first expectation is broken. Twin Peaks is much, much more than homey old mystery television. It is made up of so many layers, ones I could never have predicted from how I originally anticipated the show's tone. This is a dark, dark story, one of the most disturbing tales I've come across, and it's buried beneath cheery attitudes, making it all the more unsettling. The main plot of the series revolves around a big question: who killed Laura Palmer? Instead, the more you watch, you will understand there's an even bigger question at stake: who was Laura Palmer? And through the town's grieving community, we uncover the secretive life of this girl, one everyone was, in a way, attached to. Again, though, my expectations are broken because I did not expect the supernatural to have such significance in the plot. Yet that's what makes this show so very special amongst its other competitors. It's willing to discuss mature matters with a world that isn't used to it. Sure, the stylistic tone of Twin Peaks certainly is not for everybody. Many attempt to give it a go, and it just doesn't click. For those who push through with it, they see there is something to be understood from all this. But what? Well, this is where my expectations are utterly obliterated. Never have I seen a piece of media so ambiguous as Twin Peaks is, and never have I seen a community so obsessed, so passionate, that till this day people are uncovering new details or bringing forward new perspectives, all that are totally logical, acceptable, and welcome heartily. People will say things that'll make you say, "Oh," out loud, because you never ever considered something that way. Twin Peaks' vagueness allows this humble fan base to thrive, even so many years later. I myself am dying to rewatch the whole series again, because each time is a new rewatch with new details, ideas, and views. Evidently, all these crazy ideas spiral from somewhere. Presenting David Lynch, aka Gordon Cole.
You remind me today of a small Mexican chihuahua.
Twisted, unhinged, and distressing to some, while creative, brilliant, and inspirational to others. This man is one of a kind. Everything Lynch churns out fascinates me. I've never understood a director so well. Admittedly, most of it can be quite boring or even unnecessary, but it's the tone he sets, the mood, that only he can do alone. Many newcomers to Lynch's cinema attempt to dissect his works by symbolic analysis, myself included. But what I came to figure and what made me fall in love with this style is it's not exactly what things represent, but what things make you feel that matters. This is the key to understanding the story he tells' deeper meaning. And this seals the deal on the genius of Twin Peaks. Even with 3 whole seasons and a fully fledged film with an additional hour's worth of deleted scenes, nobody truly knows what the fuck Twin Peaks is about.
Brilliant. I have absolutely no idea what's going on.
Again, people have their interpretations, common ones being the most popular and new ones sprouting out every day, but there is no final true explanation. In fact, whenever a new part of the series comes out, people are often let down from the lack of answers and the shitload more questions the audience is left with. I find this wonderful. Perhaps Twin Peaks is never meant to be solved. This disappoints some fans, but as a filmmaker myself, the absence of closure is not an easy thing to do, and David Lynch does it. I think what originally drew me to the show was its similarity to other media with a similar vibe, such as Silent Hill. Both share an eerie atmosphere of a small suburb town with uncanny residents and a deeper, darker secret behind the scenes. Both Twin Peaks and Silent Hill have strung my heart with their metaphorical meanings, but more so, have made me question myself and the world we live in. They demonstrate themes of grief, abuse, morality, love, and reconciliation. We live in a dark world surrounded with evil, but with that, there's always a light to balance it. We have a responsibility to balance both sides and to help others who are struggling. I idolize Cooper, not just for his heinous coffee addiction, but for the man he strives to be. He sees the darker side of town and chooses to put everything he has at stake to fight for good. Once more, this show is absolutely ahead of its time, and it's a shame for its difficult upbringing throughout the years. I hope my fair share of insight can convince some of you to try it out, and there's no shame whatsoever if it just doesn't work for you. There's many low flaws the series suffers from, but its highs are absolutely worth experiencing for yourself. It'll make you laugh, it'll make you cry, it'll leave you numb for weeks, pondering whatever the hell you just saw. Despite the morbidity, there is something beautiful in Twin Peaks, and I hope you take the chance to see it.
I have no idea where this will lead us, but I have a definite feeling it will be a place both